Hello all, welcome back to One Pitch Catch. This is during the Super 8 stage of the T20 World Cup. A few matches have got over. Yesterday we had West Indies easily beating Zimbabwe, and the day before was a couple of games, England, Sri Lanka, and India versus South Africa. We'll just touch upon India, South Africa. The selections were bizarre. The play was bizarre. It was just a little of a mess all around. And obviously, India have got themselves into a pretty messy state. Ganesh, what did you see?
Thing is, is there anyone in the think tank who can actually think, Jaga? How do you drop Axar for Washington? Nothing against Washington here, but Axar is definitely a better bowler and a better batsman than Washington in T20s.
Yeah.
And Axar is also the vice captain of the side. You if Sky gets injured or for some reason, you are expecting him to lead the side even if we reach the semis or a finals, okay? And in the last World Cup final also, it was his 40 50 runs which
Yeah.
helped us post a coming good total. And the Netherlands game, he was not in the 11. I can understand that. When you're giving chances to Washington, who's in the squad, and all those things, I just can't believe. If Axar is injured, I can understand. But even if Axar is injured, I would want Kuldeep to be playing ahead of Washington. But
Yeah, correct.
this was completely bizarre. But I don't think you can question Gautam Gambhir, the coach, but because he is the same guy who won bilaterals against South Africa, New Zealand, and Australia recently.
On
So
very flat pitches where the batsman had to not do too much and the bowlers had no choice or chance. But this is a nice, easy tournament where the pitches are very different from what we've seen over the last few months when it comes to pitches in India.
exactly,
But yeah, I mean,
and also, if it's a matchup thing, no, see, if Axar can bowl only to right-handers, then why pick him in the squad only and make him vice captain on top of it? Axar at this level, at an international level, and also he's also shown that he can bowl to left-handers and
yeah.
right-handers. And this matchup thing is going too bizarre, I feel, Jaga. What's your take on this? Uh, Too much focus on matchups again and again and again.
Yeah, I think we've spoken about it in the past. I think there's just a ridiculous amount of weightage given to that. I mean, it didn't stop Keshav Maharaj from picking up wickets. If you picked Washington to be like a like for like replacement for Axar, I think he only bowled 2 overs, right?
Yes, yes.
Uh, why? Why is that the case?
He didn't bowl
Then
so
what are you trying to
badly.
do here?
He didn't bowl so badly, but the presence of Brevis, they didn't bowl him because Brevis was there. No, that's not the
Correct.
way. If you pick somebody in the 15, I'm sure they are good enough to bowl against any batsman. So if you are
Right.
going to hide them, I can understand when if there are 9 wickets down, a batsman preventing the number 11 batsman by avoiding singles, refusing singles. But this is
Yeah,
not the
that's different.
case.
Yeah.
That kind of a case. This is completely bizarre. And Axar, from day one, I've been wondering if. So I was happy that Axar was given the vice captaincy because he's going to be a certainty in the 11, unless he's going to be
Yeah.
rested for some less against lesser teams. But this was bizarre. I think uh, there are a lot of mistakes that the team did, but I think dropping Axar takes the cake, and that is what made us lose this game. Of course, no taking no credit away from South Africa. The
Oh,
game,
yes. South
the
Africa
game
recovered brilliantly
plan.
from that 40 for 3 that they were in, I think probably after the first power play, right? So I think
Yes.
they had a great plan to just stabilize it and then start belting it around. And then with the ball, they obviously, especially against Varun with when they were batting, they definitely targeted him to just annul his influence. And then obviously with the ball, they were super effective.
Yeah, the planning was perfect, and their execution of those plans was more than perfect. I feel. See, because taking down Varun, if there's as part of the plan, that is not easy. Going by the last 1.5 years, what Varun has done, even against better teams, better teams, better batsmen of spin. No, what Varun has done is just amazing. Taking down with precision. What South Africa did was absolutely excellent. And all, like you said, the first 6 overs they were like 41 for 3. Those were the
Yeah.
only 6 overs when India looked to have some control over the game. All the remaining 34 overs were completely controlled by by South Africa, I feel. Um
Yeah,
And
absolutely. And what does this mean in terms of just future games? I'm sure all the teams are going to continue bowling with an off spinner right at the start, and again reduce the impact of Abhishek and all this. Like, what is the plan against it? I don't see that happening.
I can't believe, I mean, Salman Aga, Aryan Dutt, okay, and now Markram. None of them are in the Ashwin
Yeah,
Nathan Lyon league, okay? Or they are not even in the Shoaib Bashir league, Jaga, who is England's number one spinner. So
supposedly in tests.
in this. And these guys are, I mean, picking one wicket for fun in the first over.
Yeah,
So I mean, I don't know what is the think tank doing. There have to be some plan to tackle the off spinners because everybody will come with it. I mean, Aiden Markram wouldn't generally bowl Jaga in most of the games,
yeah.
though he's a
He's
more
pretty
much
good off.
more than capable off spinner. He doesn't bowl in every game and we lose a wicket to him. So this is something that the batters, the coaches have to work around this. I mean, more than that, no, Jacob, with this big loss, this 76-run loss has pushed India even further in the net run rate
Hmm.
scenario. So, in say, provided India beats Zimbabwe and West Indies, and West Indies beat South Africa, which means that there will be a three-way tie with two
Yeah,
wins.
correct.
In that case, India would be in
Better
the
than it.
third, most probably end up third because of the net run race hit that we have
Correct.
taken
Yeah.
in the first game. Unless they beat West Indies and Zimbabwe by big margins, which looks unlikely, at least with for to beat West Indies like that, Chaka. The way West Indies
Yeah,
have been
and
playing,
Zimbabwe's bowling has been pretty decent. I mean, their batting may not be that much of a show, but bowling wise, they've been pretty decent. They've had some good plans, and Blessing Muzarabani and Kramer and all these folks are doing pretty well from a bowling perspective, right?
and
So
Sikandar
I
Raza
think
is an off spinner.
Sikandar has also.
He's
Yeah,
an
I
off
mean, but
spinner.
is there I mean, it almost seems like there is an underlying batting issue because this is not the first game this tournament where the batting has not been good. I think pretty much all games, like we spoke about in the previous video, almost all teams caused issues except weirdly Pakistan. So in a sense, this has been almost like a disaster waiting to happen. We'll see. And now, obviously, there's a huge pressure now on winning the next couple of games and winning them by bigger margins, and then you only have a chance of qualifying. It's a little. It's going to be interesting to see how the situation is in case the qualification doesn't happen. Then what the repercussions would be. But then that's again for another video. Before we move on, any closing thoughts on the other semi-final, other Super 8 matches? West Indies, Zimbabwe, or England, Sri Lanka. England had a pretty easy win against Sri Lanka, which is a little
Surprise. I mean,
unexpected.
both there was a little bit of an element of surprise in both games. I felt, Jacob, because England bundling out Sri Lanka for 95 and winning it by a big margin. I was surprised, and the way West Indies hit close to 250 was
Yeah,
also. I was amazed against the way Zimbabwe has been bowling the series against Australia
yeah,
and Sri Lanka. I didn't expect them to give away 250 runs, but again, I think the change of venue makes it. What Zimbabwe
yes,
won both those games in Sri Lanka. Now
in Sri
coming
Lanka,
into
yeah,
Wankhede, the size of the grounds matter. So that's when
and the
it has
pitches
played.
also.
Yeah, the size of the ground and the pitches. Yes, that's what has played into West Indies. I feel so. It's going to be a tough ask for India, especially on the net run rate front. Let's see what happens. But on this note, uh, related note, the Indian women have been doing pretty well in
Yeah,
Australia, winning the series.
absolutely, yeah.
I think it's the first time they won a series in Australia. I think, right?
Correct, yeah.
Hmm.
They won the first match, lost the second, and then came back quite well in the third to just round it off. Quite a few, and the ODI started today. It's not been a good start, 30 for 2 or something like that. Yeah, we'll try and wrap it up now. I mean, I think there were quite a few stars. Arundhati Reddy, Smriti, Jemima, all of them did well. The rain also helped in the first match to some extent. And then there was Duckworth Lewis that obviously came into the picture. And panic set in the second match. They had to get like 40 runs in 3 overs with 7 wickets in hand. That's not unheard of. And yeah. So anyway, yeah, we'll anyway, sorry, you what to say something.
No, no, that's what I mean. That panic was very surprising. The way they have been playing overall,
Yeah,
having been world champions and all those things, I expected them to finish that game over, but it was very surprising
correct.
that
Yeah.
they lost that. But it's a lot of credit for them to winning the first
Oh,
time
it
round.
definitely. Yeah.
Hmm.
So it shows that their planning is still in place and they can win in Australia. There's some noise here, so we'll try and close it out. Yeah, again we'll come back again in a few days' time with after the next round of matches. And until then, thank you. Keep watching.
Bye bye.